the Albuquerque assassin. We have on all day Davion Franklin. Davion, how's it going today?
Good, man. How are you, brother?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good.
You're gonna be returning at Mohegan Sun again. How good does it feel to head back to Connecticut?
It's good. I feel like I fought there so many times that like the people there are starting to know who I am. So I guess that's one of the upsides of fighting at the Mohegan Sun.
Mm-hmm. Before we dive into your next fight, I want to touch up on what happened last weekend against Ryan Bader versus Valentin Moldavsky. Did you happen to catch the fight, and what did you think of it?
You want my honest answer or just
okay? Yeah, honesty is the best policy, right?
Yeah. Well, with all due respect to both those guys, I think Moldavsky is a outstanding competitor, and I think same for Ryan Bader. I think he's a competitor. I would never discredit anybody in the sport. I think Moldavsky kind of won, but I think when you fight the champion, you can't like go back. You know, it can't be a close fight. You have to decisively beat the champion. I mean, it's like that in the UFC as well, you know. So either way, it was a really close fight. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a coin flip, almost toss up. See who won.
A lot of people were talking trash about the judges. You know, Benson Henderson got the win. Before that fight, it was a close decision. You think the hometown judges might have had a put a play on that?
A little bit, but again, I mean, not so much of the Benson. I think the Benson Henderson fight, again, that was a close fight, but again, he was in his hometown. But the Ryan Bader and Moldavsky's fight was closer than the Benson Henderson's fight. I think Benson Henderson legit lost, you know, but I don't think Ryan Bader it was a close fight. He had his moments, you know. A lot of people, including myself, thought that Ryan Bader was going to get dominated by Moldavsky like he did at 205, you know. So, you know, he kind of showed that he still has some heart, man. If I'm being honest with you. Now, do I think that belt's going to come home to daddy soon? Yes. Do I think I'm going to walk all these guys in the heavyweight division? Yes. If that's what you wanted to hear, but that's what I think. I think I gotta handle business in the next 3 weeks with Sowma. Fight, you know, hopefully Linton Vassell or Tyrell Fortune or Steve Mowry, and then I'm fighting for the title. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm. Last August, I asked you about Ryan Bader. You said you had one answer to that, as it was keep that belt warm for me. Is there anything that you saw from Bader in that fight where you could analyze it and say, okay, this is going to be a cakewalk? I know I could beat him after that fight.
I don't think anybody. You know, the game is so the game is so unpredictable that like I don't think that it would be disrespectful for me to say that anybody's a cakewalk. I don't think anybody's a cakewalk. Now, when you know, if it just so happened that these people face me and I go out there and I knock them out in like 13 seconds or whatever, it's a cakewalk then. But like going into a fight, I'm never like, oh, this guy's a cakewalk. This guy's gonna be a walk in the park. Truthfully, like, you know, I'm very, very serious and very, very focused when I'm getting ready to fight. I'm not overlooking anybody. I just know how bad I want this. I want this bad. I want this more than I want to breathe, honestly. There's nothing more than I want than to be the heavyweight champion. That's my greatest ambition right now. Mm-hmm. And to do it with less than 10 fights, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, I bring up the cakewalk because your last fight was definitely a cakewalk with the 21 seconds. But when you're facing the heavyweight champion, you got to take it one step at a time. You know, you can't underestimate anybody in this game, especially in the heavyweight division, right?
No, sir. No, sir. And no, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. I think I'm very, very lethal.
Mm-hmm. Corey Anderson expressed some interest in moving up to heavyweight. I know you had some stuff to say about that. He wants to take care of business at 205 first, then maybe go for a rematch against Bader. What did you think of Corey Anderson's comments?
The disrespect, man. The disrespect. he didn't even say, you know what, I'm a 205er, man. Those are big boys. I leave the big boys alone. He said, I got business at 205 to work. You know, you don't even know if he's going to beat Nemkov. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, it's not like Corey Anderson has ever been the champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he almost would have fought my boy John Jones, but he came to New Mexico and got knocked out in front of John Jones, and I was there. I was there that day. I seen Corey Anderson get flatlined by Jan Blachowicz. I seen it with my own two eyes in person. So it's like these guys, I mean, do I think the Bellator heavyweight division, do I think it's a weak division? No, I just don't think that they have many new faces in that division. But for someone like him, it's different if it was like, oh, John Jones he'll walk through the heavyweight division. Okay, that makes sense. That's bones. Corey Anderson, bro, come on, dog. Come on, man. Honestly, bro, like I realized a whole lot last year. I realized that people just don't know me yet, and that's why I take every fight so personal. I take everything so personal. I'm like, bro, I know where I stand. I know what I can do. I know what I want. I know my ambitions. These people don't know me yet because I'm still new in the game, and I'm still getting some skin in the game. But I know how bad I want this. I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I can do. I trained with UFC caliber talent. I've trained with John Jones. I've trained with the Juan Adams, Dontel Mays, everybody who comes to Jackson Wink looking for a camp. And I know where I stack up against these guys. The world doesn't know yet, but the more opportunities that I get, the world will know. So right now, Corey Anderson, he's probably thinking, oh, yeah, I can walk through Bellator heavyweight division. By the end of the year, he won't be saying that. By the end of the year, if he still wants to come up to the Bellator heavyweight division while I'm still doing my thing, hey, we'll see what happens.
Yep. We'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens on February 19th. You know, you're looking to make an even bigger name for yourself, get more eyeballs on you. You take on Saeed Sowma. What do you think of him as an opponent going forward?
Excuse me?
Oh, what do you think about Saeed Sowma, your next opponent?
Well, again, I'm not doing this to get eyeballs on me. I'm doing this to get closer to the title. Like I said it so many times. I don't care about the attention, the money, the fame. I care about my legacy. I care about my highlights. I'm in here to create a legacy for myself and to try to become one of the best ever to ever do it. I'm not looking. I don't care about the attention, all that kind of stuff, the eyeballs and all that kind of stuff. That stuff comes when you're a dominant champion, and that's what I want to be. I'm tired of being like overlooked. I'm tired of being like somebody that people are like, oh, well, you have potential. We'll see. That's why I don't call myself the future champion. I call myself the champ. It's the difference. But Saeed Sowma, I think he's like he seems like a smart fighter. That's what I would say about him. Yeah, I got some surprises for him.
Mm-hmm. And talking about surprises, do you have like a certain prediction in mind, or will we have to wait until February 19th to see what's the surprise?
I can't make any prediction. I can't make any predictions like how I used to because I learned so much from the past. It's like when I made predictions and go out and try to live up to that prediction. But I would say like I look forward to being dominant. My mindset hasn't changed. I look to dominate everybody who I step into the cage with. It's him or me. That's how it is. It's him or me. And right now, it's better me than you. That's how I look at it. It's better me than him.
Yep, for sure. 100%. And, after this fight, you're starting the year off with a bang. How many fights would you like to have in 2022?
I want to do something legendary this year. I want to do something that hasn't been done. So hopefully, if God wills it, I go out there. I'm not saying I'm looking to knock him out in the first round, but if God wills it and I knock him out first round, I'm healthy. Bro, why not keep on getting me fights? Why not put me on the next fight card? Do the same thing to the next guy. Why not? If honestly, if I went out there and knocked my next 4 opponents out within the first round and I'm healthy, why can't I fight 5 to 6 times this year? No one else does that. No, especially not a heavyweight. But that's kind of like the kind of stuff that I want to do. Like that's legendary. People don't do that, especially not anymore. So it's just like I would like to do that, like what Kazma has done, what Kevin Holland has done. I would like to get that opportunity, but I don't think Bellator would give me that opportunity. But if by the grace of God, it went like that, man, that would be awesome.
Mhm.
Bro, like it'd be cool to fight like a boxer. Boxers go 12 rounds. Why did Mike Tyson go like 9-0 his first year boxing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
I just think that like I think I bring like a different type of like determination to the table. I think I bring a different type of just rage and hungerness to the table that like I'm unmatched. Like yes, I get it, it's a fight, but like when I fight like it's life and death. I don't fight like, oh, just there's no strategy for me. I'm here to take this person's head off. And it's like that with every fight. Every fight. Because, you know.
For sure, for sure. After that last fight in August, 21 seconds, you didn't have a mark on you after that fight. Were you looking to rebound back before this next month, or like what was
Yes.
the schedule?
I was, but for some reason, after a 20-second knockout, they made me wait 6 months before I got another chance to fight again. So I don't know what that was about, but whatever. Eventually, I'm gonna be hard to ignore. So keep trying to pretend like I'm not here. These other heavyweights keep trying to pretend like they're not worried and I don't exist. They're gonna find out. I'm gonna show them.
And Ryan Bader's surely staying active with his last fight. Just being last weekend, he's already scheduled for Czech Congo in May.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight playing out?
The first fight, Czech Congo fought Ryan Bader. I watched it. Czech Congo did not want none of Ryan Bader. Then he probably, I mean, yeah, he's looking for a title shot, but I don't see it going different. I see Ryan Bader beating him. I see Ryan Bader probably knocking him out. Czech Congo didn't even get poked in the eye, and he said he got poked in the eye and quit the fight. Like, come on, bro. And nobody wants to see that fight. Nobody. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's my destiny to get these dudes out of here, bro. Seriously, like, I want it too much. I want this too much, bro. That's my title they playing around with, bro. That's my title they're playing with.
On route to the heavyweight title, there is a name that everybody knows, Fedor Emelianenko. He's still in need of a dance partner. I feel like Davion Franklin might be the one to be his last dance. What do you say about that fight?
Yes, I will take that fight.
In Russia?
If they offer me that fight, why not? I just feel like people, they like to overlook me because I have a small record. But if he's not gonna overlook me because I have a small record and that's a fight that he wants, yes, I will fight Fedor Emelianenko, and I would gladly, never mind, I would gladly take that fight and I would send him on his way.
The
right way.
I think that fight would be in Russia. Like, have you been outside of the country, and what would it mean to you to fight in somebody's enemy territory?
It doesn't matter, because wherever that cage is, the cage is my territory. The cage is my yard. So wherever the cage is, it's my home.
And your home is Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have to ask you, have you watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I have.
Awesome. What did you think of the show?
I thought it was cool. Like, so I'm not from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I just live here. But I don't know. I thought this show was like one of the best shows I've ever seen, honestly. Truthfully.
Yeah, I'm on season 3 right now.
Oh man.
But yeah, I have some catching up to do. I've actually been to Albuquerque. I've been to all the set locations. Have you taken that tour yet?
I haven't. I haven't, honestly. I mean, I like the show, but I'm not like super obsessed with it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not like to where like I want to just go sightseeing and go look at their houses and waste my gas on driving around town to see these places. You know what I mean?
Now, I know you don't make crystal meth, but if you were Jesse Pinkman, I know you aren't Jesse Pinkman, but if you were, who would be Davion Franklin's Walter White?
Would be my Walter White. Probably Coach Wink.
Coach Wink?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome, man. Awesome. And I don't want to touch up too much on the John Jones situation, but since we last talked, you're kind of down to heavyweight training partner. Not to dive into the politics around that, but what did you think about his departure from the gym?
I think that's like family business. I think there's a chance that he could be back.
Oh,
You
really?
know, yeah. So I don't know. You never know. We never know things that goes on behind closed doors that come to light. But with family, like you could always get over the issue. Sometimes it just takes time.
For sure, for
At least
sure.
from what I know, and I would hope to. John Jones is a big part of Jackson Wink's legacy. So I think maybe he'll come back. I hope he does.
hmm Yeah, he's one of the greatest of all time, the
He
best to
he
ever.
is the greatest of all time right now.
hmm Yeah,
No, nobody has done what he's done. Like I don't get how people can like dispute that. Like until you've had as many title defenses, you cannot say he's not the greatest of all time. It's not Usman. It's not Khabib. It's Bones. That's just what it is.
hmm I know that's one of your goals as well. But to be the greatest of all time, do you think you have to, after? I mean, you already see yourself as a Bellator heavyweight champion, but after getting that belt wrapped around your waist, do you think the UFC might be the next move, or what's the game plan?
Uh, with the UFC, that sounds weird. Like I mean, Bellator they kind of brought me up, groomed me for me to just to get the title and just go to the UFC. That doesn't sound fair. But truthfully, no. I mean, it just depends. Like what's best for my career. Like so with me, like I kind of like think that with legendary performances and doing things that other heavyweights or just doing things that the crowd hasn't ever seen done by a heavyweight or anybody else in this sport, that's going to bring eyes to Bellator,
hmm
and to a point where it's never happened like that. You know what I mean? Like you want to like, I would make it so people will want to come to Bellator and watch Bellator more than they want to watch the UFC. I
Yeah.
think I can do that. And I'm trying not to be like overly confident because I understand this is a fight game, but I think I bring something different to the table that hasn't been seen in the sport. And I just think just the more opportunity that I get, the more I prove it. It's not going to be like hopefully Bellator they'll see what I'm worth and they'll pay me what I'm worth. That way, like I think a lot of people they go to the UFC because they get to the ceiling at Bellator or these other promotions, and then the UFC would pay them just a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would hope that I don't know. I really can't think that far right now. My biggest focus is on being a Bellator heavyweight champion and being the most dominant heavyweight in Bellator right now. That's my goal. So it's kind of like I don't really like. You see all the stuff that's going on in the UFC, like how the stuff that with Francis Ngannou, like the stuff that's with Bones, like them not wanting to pay their athletes. But I don't want to go through that. You know what I mean? Like and I'm not going through that. Bellator is treating me very good for a guy who's 4-0. You know what I mean? Like I understand. Like I understand that I'm very blessed to be in the position that I'm in, and I'm grateful. Like I'm 4-0, and I'm doing all right, and thanks to Bellator. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to, you know, I'm a loyal person. So right now I'm just looking to become the best and hopefully fulfill my destiny and, take Sowma's head off.
hmm Yeah, that's totally understandable. And honestly, the better paychecks may lie in Bellator. I think Corey Anderson made more in his 2 fights than he did in 15 fights in the UFC.
Yeah,
Do,
but
do you believe that?
I believe it, but at the same time, I think that Corey Anderson, he still has some juice in his career, but is Corey Anderson something special? He's proved we know who Corey Anderson is.
hmm
He's had his UFC run. Do you think Corey Anderson is going to ever go back to the UFC, or the UFC is like looking to get Corey Anderson's back?
Probably not.
No, probably not. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying Corey Anderson has hit his peak. You know what I mean? But he can probably beat Nemkov or whatever. But like, I just feel like there's just so much upside for me. You know what I mean? Like,
hmm
I just want to play everything the right way. I want to be patient. I want to let everything come to me. I think I was so disappointed with myself and with Bellator last year just because I feel like, man, I should be blowing up more. I should be, but you gotta get over yourself. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things bigger than you. The show always goes on. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm definitely like. What was your question about Corey Anderson again?
It was do you believe the money that he's made, his claims where he's made more in
Yeah.
2 fights than in 15 fights in the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, why would he say it if it wasn't true?
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed. And I think it's all the
mean,
questions I have. I just want to thank you again for
ask
the
away.
time. Yeah,
Bro,
I
yeah,
think
I'm not doing anything right now. I'm like, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm big chilling.
okay. Yeah, I'll get a couple more questions for you then. Other than Breaking Bad, what are some of your other favorite top shows to watch on TV?
Taking Sowma's head off. No, I'm just joking. Let me see. My favorite. What do I watch? I'm trying to think. Oh, I watched the Vikings. That's the show. That's a show I've been watching lately. You mean shows that I'm watching or shows that I've watched that I like?
I mean a little bit of both. You know, if you're
Okay.
on a really good show like
Game of Thrones, Spartacus, Vikings, Lucifer,
good one.
and Dexter. I like Dexter.
Dexter is very good, dude. Dexter's.
Yeah. I haven't watched the new season yet. I'm trying to. There's one they just released a new season. I'm trying to like wait till they release like another season before I watch it, just so like I have more to watch. But yeah.
I heard the ending of the new season isn't too good, but I'll leave that up to you.
Don't spoil it, bro.
I'm not spoiling it, but like I heard the ending wasn't too good.
Oh man, I didn't like the way it ended the last time. I don't know if you watched it. I don't know if you watched it all up until like season 5, but how like he kind of restarted his identity and everything like that, and he had to kill his sister. I think his sister died somehow. That I don't know. That kind of sucked a little bit. I kind of like his sister was actually a good character in the show. I thought she was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
She has like this brother who's like she finds out who's a serial killer, bro. Wild shit, bro. That's so wild.
For sure. If last question for you, if Davion Franklin had a TV show about him, what would the title be?
Ooh. It depends if it's like about my life, my personal life, or my professional life. If it was about my professional life and I'm using that kind of imagery, it'd probably be something about like Davion fulfilling my destiny or something like that. Because I do feel like I don't know the way things has gone for me in my career, like how I fight. It just feels like my calling. Honestly, it doesn't feel like something I decided. I feel like this is something that was decided for me, kind of. Like, it's weird. I've always been good at fighting. Like, I would get in fights in school and stuff like that, or like fighting backyard with my friends. Like, I've always just been like, I've always been who I am now, and I feel like fighting it's my destiny. It's my calling, and it just, I don't know why I feel that way, but that's why. Like, maybe it'll make more sense after depending on the performance that I have with Sowma. Like, I respect Sowma, truthfully, bro. Like, he's a tough dude, man. Like, don't nobody go out and fight Vitaly Minakov in Russia. You know what I mean? Like, he'll take any fight in his game. Like, I just know that like he hasn't met someone. He hasn't fought anyone like me. Like, I watched most of his fights already. He hasn't fought someone like me. He hasn't fought anybody with my tenacity either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the truth is, he probably thinks he's gonna like tire me out, but the truth is, he's gonna be in danger, bro.
For sure.
But for the show, it's probably Unstoppable by Davion or something like that. Or Fulfilling My Destiny or something like that,
Coming soon to Netflix.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't really focus on like being like some superstar. I don't know, man. I just want to be dominant. I want to be like undeniable. And I feel like the only how you're undeniable is being a champion in this sport.
For sure. We might not see a show about Davion for a long time, but we will see a show on February 19th. What do you have to say to the fans out there watching?
Just tune in. I think yeah, just tune in, watch the fight. And I think that you guys are gonna see some stuff that you've never seen out of a heavyweight, being myself.
Mhm.
I'm looking to be dominant, and I'm looking to make a statement.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Davion, for the time.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch up after the fight for sure. Thanks, Davion.
Yes, sir, bro. I'll holler at you, dog. Thank you.
Uh-huh.